is going to go free range with creatures great and small at Chester's world-famous zoo.
You must be Mark.
I'm Mark. Welcome to the zoo, Charles. Lovely to see you.
The main man.
CEO Mark Pilgrim is proud of the zoo, which opened in the 1930s, the pioneering vision of a man called George Mottershed.
Look at these elephants here. I feel so free I could roam with them. But of course, going back to Victorian times and before, the cage was almost the biggest thing you saw before the animal. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. These elephants are hugely social. You've got mothers and grandmothers and sisters and babies. But I mean, of course, in those days, people weren't concerned about how the animal was feeling. It was much more about safety, and so, you know, everything was kept in huge, great iron bar cages for the safety of the public rather than the well-being of the animal.
George Mottershed had a passion for animals. At his father's nursery, he kept birds and small animals, and as time went on, his collection grew, and he developed his own ideas about how animals should be treated.
He loved the animals, and he wanted to set them free in their natural habitat, as near as they could be, but for the public to obviously enjoy.
George really didn't want to see animals kept in small, dingy enclosures. He wanted to give them space and freedom and allow them to behave naturally.
The Mottershed family moved to Oakfield House in 1930 and built the zoo in its grounds, opening to the public a year later.
George was a real innovator. He put great apes behind water. He was the first person, for example, to put big cats behind chain-link fence, you know, something that actually happens all around the rudder. So he wanted to get rid of the obvious visual barriers and have that feeling of openness and space, and linking enclosures together so you had that landscape view. I mean, he was a real visionary, actually. And these days, you know, the zoo world is a huge network of experts who talk to each other about the best way of doing things. George had none of that. You know, he had to make it up as he went along, really, in terms of even how to transport a bear safely and how to get it out from the truck into the new enclosure. All those sorts of things would have been very different back then, and probably very exciting, I think.
Yeah, rather him than me, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mottershed was a fighter. He was paralysed at the Battle of the Somme and confounded doctors by learning to walk again, and that's the kind of determination he brought to the creation of Chester Zoo.
It's like lots of visionary people at the time thought that he was slightly mad and it wasn't going to work. But his character saw that through. He was determined he could make this work, and it was the right thing to do for the animals. And now almost every good zoo in the world follows the same kind of principles, but it's all about the animals and their needs. And actually that DNA, if you like, still runs through Chester Zoo today.
George Mottershed died in 1978, but today 15,000 animals from 500 different species call his zoo home. Oh, hello. What's that then? You want a tasty snack? And you want Charles Hanson and Keeper Vicky to come and feed them to you, don't you?
Hello, Meeakats.
Hi!
They're very cute. Oh, you almost want to stroke them, but I can't, can I?
Almost want to stroke them, yeah, but definitely can't, sorry.
No. I can't buy one, can I?
No.
I need a little mascot in my car. A little mascot on my way to Flintshire.
Please don't be alarmed if they do climb up your leg at all.
No, and can they sit on my knee at all, or...?
Yes, they can come onto your knee if you're comfortable with that.
I think so.
Yeah?
All aboard on the road trip.
So they're using you as a platform to look out. Okay. Hello, bird.
I think we're looking at Natasha. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Now, look, Natasha's that way, not this way. They are so inquisitive, aren't they? And so,
yes.
Hello, come on board. Oops, sorry.
Toddlers with attitude, because they're into absolutely everything. Am I right to put some more mealworms on
please
them?
do. You can put some, whatever you like. Yeah, there we go.
Just keep them down there. So I'm afraid no kissing of them either.
That's right.
Yeah,
no kissing
of them.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Do you need any help getting up?
I'm okay.
There you are then.
There we go. Until next time, Meeakats. Thank you ever so much. I feel re-energised.
Good.
My last shop.
Wonder if Natasha's re-energised.